What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 6 Episode 3. So we start off, we have Elizabeth and Andre. Is that how she says her name? Andre. Basically, she's talking to him about meeting with her brother. He ain't trying to hear it. He don't want to meet with the brother. He ain't got no time and no parts for it. But she lets him know, listen, if you want to work with the family, my brother is my dad's right hand man. Like it's not gonna happen if y'all don't come to some sort of agreement. And Andre is like, listen, he was disrespectful to me. He was rude to me. He owes me an apology. And until, if and when he's able to give me an apology, then I don't know what to take. I don't know what to tell you, and I don't know what to say. And so he he they agree to meet. They agree that they're going to meet, although I don't really think either one of them are all gung-ho about it. So they meet up. He complaining about where they meeting, talking about something they meeting at a brewery. I mean, so they get to the restaurant, and basically, excuse me, y'all. Basically, they end up going over and rehashing all the stuff that happened at the wedding, back and forth, talking about what he said, what he did. He never apologized. The fact that, and then we find out, because again, y'all probably know this if you watched the season. I ain't watched the season, so I don't know. Then we find out that he, then we find out that he said, there was a fight or something, and Andre tried to fight the brother, but Andre was like, well, I thought we had apologized, and I thought we had moved on. I'm like, well, so you can fight the brother, but the brother, listen, it just sounds like a whole lot of mess. And at this point, they both need to just move forward, is what it sounds like to me. Now, it sounds like that they came to some sort of tentative agreement, that they were going to move on and be okay. Tentatively. I don't know. We'll see how this work out. I feel like this ain't going to work. But anyway, we'll see. They ain't make up for real. They ain't friends, but I feel like they decided they just gonna move forward. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Then we have Jovi and Yara. They done had the baby. Now we see Jovi at the grocery store buying, essentials. He buys diapers for like a 3-month-old. The baby is like 4 days old. And he doesn't understand the problem when, Yara is like how much do you think the baby weighs? And Jovi talking about something, that's all they had. Sir, there's a whole aisle of diapers. That is not the only diaper they had. I feel like that was one of the things that was done for the camera to, make Jovi look like, oh, he's, such a dad, But then Jovi's mom comes over, baby. And Jovi's mom comes over. And I thought the baby was older than this, but the baby's only like 4 days old. Jovi's mom comes over, child, and she is not here for it. She is telling them all the stuff that they doing wrong. The baby ain't in the blanket. The baby's this. The baby's that. Yara's not doing this. Yara's not doing that. Now, to Yara's credit, baby, she is sitting there looking at the mom, giving the mama the side eye like. But she's not saying nothing. She's not being rude to Jovi's mom. She's just kind of keeping it cute, And, Jovi's mom was like, well, listen, I understand that they are, first time parents and they're figuring it out. And if I feel like they're doing something wrong, then I'm going to tell them I feel like it's wrong. I'm going to speak up, if I feel like they need to do something different. From a mother's point of view, with knowing that you're dealing with, first time parents, okay, I get it. But sometimes we have to give our opinion and just step back. But the problem is Jovi is getting ready to leave again. And, Jovi travels and he's on the ship for I think 2 months at a time. But now because of COVID, they have to quarantine for 2 weeks before they even get on the ship, which makes his travel trips even longer. And so he's nervous about leaving her there. And he's like, listen, I need you to get along with my mom because I'm going to be leaving you here by yourself. And that's basically your only lifeline, Then we see Yara have a whole breakdown, which I understand because she said, the plan was while Jovi was on the ship, that she would travel back home. You know, like when Jovi wasn't working. I mean, when Jovi was working, that she would go home and visit her family during that time, so that she wouldn't be by herself and that she wouldn't be alone. But of course, because of coronavirus and because of her getting pregnant, that hasn't been able to happen. She hasn't been back home. You know, she can't travel because of COVID. And even if she could travel because of COVID, now she can't because she got a newborn baby. And so she was really, really upset, and she was crying, and I understood. Like, I don't always have a lot of sympathy for Yar, because I think Yar's a you know what sometimes. But I definitely understood where she was coming from. And she said, you know, and now you're leaving me. And he was like, well, what you want me to do? Like, I gotta work. Like, and she was like, and I feel like she wanted him to not go. And I understand that too. I probably would feel the exact same way, but you know, he's like, listen, I gotta go back to work. Like, I can't not work. You know, I don't have that option to not work. Child. So then we have Angela and Michael. Listen, it's clear that Angela had the damn surgery. So y'all dragging this whole thing out and making this such a big deal. At this point, I'm over it, because you could tell in Angela's confessionals that her ass had the damn surgery. She's still smoking. She eating. She doing everything they told her ass not to do. And now she's worried because she said because now she's doing the 2 surgeries in one, that she's going to be under anesthesia even longer. And she's nervous about being under anesthesia even longer with the surgery and everything. So she's doing like the breast reduction and lift at the same time that she's doing this, putting the sleeve on. So she calls Michael to tell Michael about it. And of course, Michael is not happy about her getting the breast reduced because he loves her breast, and he talking about something. That's the first thing he noticed when the first time he saw her picture. That's the first thing he noticed was her breast, and this and this and this and that. Now, Angela's friend came out to be with her through this process, so she's there, and Angela gets upset. She said, "I can't believe that you seem to be more upset about the fact that I'm having my breast reduced than about the fact that I'm going to have these surgeries that's going to be even, you know, more dangerous because I'm going to be under the anesthesia even longer. Like, I can't believe that you are more concerned about that." And of course he was like, well, no, you know, I want you to be safe and I love you. But I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't want her to have the surgery. So I guess part of him was thinking, well, I didn't want you to have damn surgery. So then we see Michael talking to his brother, and the brother putting all kinds of stuff in his head, talking about some, well, why does she, I mean, is she seeing another man? I mean, is she doing this for another man? Why is she doing all of this? Why is she having the surgery and getting thin? And I was like, if y'all don't go sit down somewhere. So now, you know, Michael in his head, you know, he's nervous and worried, and he don't want her to do it, and he don't want her to. Child, listen, I don't care, because we know she did it. On her way to the surgery, she trying to call her kids. Ain't nobody answering the phone, which is freaking her out even more, because she was like, why are they not answering the phone for me? They know I'm getting ready to go for surgery. They know I'm trying to, you know, call and talk to the kids and the grandkids and everything. Why are they not answering the phone for me? I don't understand why they're not answering the phone for me. Child, listen. It's a whole mess, but Angela ends up going in for her surgery. So next week we're going to see, you know, what ends up coming back, you know, as a result. All right, now we have Kalani and Asula. They're decorating the house because her sister's on the way, and they're trying to make it look real nice and very welcoming. And he, in my opinion, again, I feel like this is one of those things where I had to have watched the season when they were on to understand all of the back history with this season. But it seems to me like he's really trying to be nice. Now, I'm not saying he really feel that way behind closed doors, but at least publicly and in front of everybody, he's really trying to be nice, and he's really not trying to be that dude, right? But the sister comes in, and she got an attitude, and so, you know, he's like, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Glad to have you here. And she was like, are you sure? I mean, are you sure you're glad to have me here? He was like, I mean, I just want us to move forward. Like, whatever we had going on before, whatever issues we had before, I just want us to move forward. Like, I just want us to be in a better place. So then, like, the next day, they're having breakfast, and they start talking about the fact that they're looking for places for them to move into, and that they want to buy a house. And the sister is like, what you mean you want to buy a house? And here's where you got to learn how to keep family out your business, and you also got to learn how to check family. Because at the end of the day, if you and your husband are trying to move forward, and he done told you he trying to move forward and turn over a new leaf, and he don't want to go back and be the person he was, you got to just take him at his word. But the minute your sister started questioning him about them moving into a house and started talking about some, well, I mean, well, why would you buy a house? I mean, why would y'all do something that permanent if your relationship may not be permanent? Because come to find out, the sister been talking to, what's her name? Kalani been talking to her sister about possibly divorcing her husband. And my thing is, she said, well, I talked to him about it. Well, you might have talked to him about it, but he don't know you talked to her about it, and he damn sure don't feel like it's her business. So your sister was dead ass wrong to be sitting at that table questioning your husband about y'all's plans. He said, well, I don't want to rent, because to me rent is wasting money. I want to buy a home. I want to build. And he's not wrong for having that thought to say, listen, I don't want to rent. You know, when we move out, I want us to move into something that belongs to us. Now, the problem is, like I said, the sister is coming from the point of view of, well, my sister done told me that y'all might not even be staying together. And see, that's the problem. Because your sister shouldn't be putting an opinion in. And of course, it made him uncomfortable. And it probably borderline pissed him off. Because if it was me, it would have pissed me off. And so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, why in the hell would you allow this conversation to continue? Why would you allow this conversation to continue? So anyway, Kalani, that's on you. That's on you. And if your husband flicks out on your sister, he's within his rights at this point, because you set both of them up. Because and I'm not saying you can't talk to your family, but you don't allow your family to chastise and check your husband. You don't do that. You gotta let a man be a man. And if you're at a place where you no longer want to let a man be a man, then y'all need to move on. Because that's wrong. That whole conversation made me uncomfortable. Because I was like, at what point are you gonna speak up and tell her to chill out? But you didn't, because she was doing the dirty work. Because she was asking the questions that you really want to ask. And she was making the points that you really want to make. So that's part of the reason why you ain't say nothing. Anyway. Brandon and Julia. So Julia has her meeting with immigration. They build up this whole meeting with immigration. Julia don't want to be back at the farm. She ready for their own place. She mad that they had to move back to the farm. So they get ready for their meeting. They get all their paperwork and stuff together, and they go in for their meeting with immigration, and it's all dramatic, and they build it up just for them to come out and say, well, she said that she can't approve the green card for now. See, that's the part everybody keep forgetting, that she said for now. Come to find out, there's some additional paperwork that they need to submit, but the problem is, this is some sort of new policy, and nobody really even knows to the extent of what the policy is. So left don't know right, and right don't know left, and in the meantime they're stuck in the middle. So that's really what it boils down to, child. They built the whole thing up to make it seem like it was gonna be this big, oh, Julia can't stay. No, Julia can stay. It's not a big deal. They just got to submit. They probably just some extra paperwork they got to submit. But at this point, the two of them are married. Worst case scenario, they got to apply for the other type of visa and do it all over again. Probably just be more money. But with everything going on, with a change of administration and with COVID shutting everything down for so long, it probably just really came down to, there's some new policies and you got new people coming in, and the left hand don't know what the right hand did, didn't do, or already did. And if you know, like I know about, I have friends who worked in the federal government for the last 4 years. It was a whole shit show. Okay. So that's really what it boils down to. All right. Then we have, oh shoot. What's her name? Y'all know I'm still learning these names of these new people. Tiffany. Tiffany is moving out, honey. Tiffany saved the money that she saved when she canceled that plane ticket to go see her husband over in South Africa. She took that money and she put it down on a last month rent on an apartment. Okay, here's the crazy thing: why you ain't been did that? Like, you know, and she said, you know, I've been really putting my life on hold trying to make this marriage work. And, I know we supposed to stick together through thick and thin. She said, the problem is everything been thick. It ain't been no thin. It ain't been no good times. And so at this point, I'm of the mindset now where I just got to put me first, do me, and, be there for my kids. Because, me and my kids are sitting here living with my mama and my grandmama. And yes, I love them to death. But at this point, we just getting on each other's nerves. And I just need my own space. And so she done took that money, honey, and she done went and got herself a first and last month rent. And so at the end of the day, I don't know what's gonna happen with them. She went to see the divorce lawyer. She sound like she over it. But she just really wants him to step up. I think she really, really just wants him to step up, and make some sort of effort. Like, I think she accepts the fact that he doesn't make as much money and doesn't even really have the potential to make as much money, because he does have, a criminal past and things like that. But I think if he would just send her $20, $30, cash app her $100, whatever, just to show some effort, to show that he's trying to be there as a father, and that he's trying to, contribute to the care of his child. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. That was pretty much it, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments, please.